Assalamualaikum, my name is Adriana Sofia binti Ahmad Kushairi. My metric number is 17DHF2F1073. The concept of mise en place. The French term mise en place literally means to put in place or everything in its place. In a culinary context, it refers to elementary preparation step of food preparation. This means gathering and prepping the ingredient to be cooked and assembling the tools and equipment necessary to cook them. A simple but extremely important concept. A chef should have everything he or she needs to prepare and serve in an organized and efficient manner at the beginning of the process or meal period. Thank you. That's all from me. We move to the next presenter.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurin Hazani binti Abdul Halim. My metric number is 17DHF21F1998. So, my session is I'm going to talk about preliminary cooking and flavoring. Okay, so without wasting any time, I will introduce a little bit of my topic. So, preliminary cooking and flavoring. So, advanced preparation often require pre-cooking and flavoring of ingredients so you can proceed with the recipe. So, a complete cooking procedure in such case is part of the mise en place or preparation. Okay, the first one is blanching and par cooking. So, particle cooking is significant for advanced preparation. It requires degree of culinary skill and judgment to determine when and how much cooking is necessary and desirable. So, particle cooking may be done by any moist head or dry head. Thus, commonly used are simmering, boiling, steaming, and frying, especially for potatoes. The term blanching means any dust method and it usually implies very brief cooking. Okay, so the important part for blanching and par cooking is there is 4 main reasons for blanching and par cooking that I'm gonna talk about it in this presentation. Okay, so we move on to the 4 main reasons for blanching and par cooking. So we're gonna go one by one. So the first reason for blanching and par cooking is to increase holding quality. So what is it? Its heating helps preserve foods by destroying any bacteria that will cause spoilage. So the second one is destroying enzyme that discolor food. So, the second main reason for blanching and par cooking is to save time. So, it takes less time, especially for par-boiled vegetables. So, some of the dishes such as roast duck will take long time to make it finish cook. So, the next of the main reason for blanching and par cooking is to remove undesirable flavors. So the example that I can give is some meats and strong flavor vegetables such as rutabaga are sometimes blanched because to make them milder and more acceptable to give to the customer. So last but not least, the last main reason for blanching and par cooking is to enable the product to be processed further. So for example that I can give is some vegetable and fruits such as tomato and peaches, as well as some nuts are blanched to loosen the skins for peeling. So the another example I can give as such as sweet breads are blanched so they are firm enough for slicing and breading. So next we move on to the marinating. So what is the definition of marinating? So marinate it's mean to soak a food product in a seasoned liquid in order to flavor the food and to tenderize the food. So here I'm gonna highlight about the tenderizing effect. So basically the tenderizing effect of the acids in the marinade is very relatively small. It's still essential to match the proper cut of meat with the proper cooking technique for greatest tenderness. Now, I'm going to explain about 3 categories of ingredients in the marinating process. So, the first ingredient is oil. So, basically, what is the function of the oil for the marinating process? So, basically, oil actually helps to preserve the meat's moisture. So, the second ingredient is acid. The acid that we got from vinegar, from lemon juice, from wine, basically the function of them is to help tenderize on food that have a high protein. So last but not least, the last ingredient that help in marinating process is flavoring such as spice, herbs and vegetable. So a wide choice is available and the function is depending on the purpose. Whole spice release flavors more slowly and basically people choose flavoring such as spice, herb and vegetable for a long process marination. I think that's all from me. Thank you for listening my presentation and my friend's presentation, and I hope you will get some things new from our explanation. So last but not least, thank you again from me and my friend, and see you. Bye.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Aisyah Mashara binti Sukafi. My metric numbers is 17-F21 F1077. Alright, plant and ordnance production. Even on a simple level, preparation is necessary. If you prepare only one short recipe, you must first assemble your tools, assemble your ingredients, wash, trim, cut, prepare and measure your raw materials, and prepare equipment. Only then can you begin the actual preparation. When many items are to be prepared in a commercial kitchen, the situation is much more complex. Dealing with this complexity is the basis of kitchen organization. Alright, next is the problems. Every food service operation faces a basic conflict between two unavoidable facts. First, there is far too much work to do in a kitchen to leave until the last minute, so some work must be done ahead. Second, most foods are at the best quality immediately after preparation, and they deteriorate as they are hot. The last one is the solution. To address the conflict, the chef must plan a pre-preparation carefully. Planning generally follows these steps. First, break down each menu item into each stage of production. Second, determine which stage may be done in advance. Third, determine the best way to hold each item at its final stage of pre-preparation. Holding temperature is the temperature at which a product is kept for service or for storage. Holding temperatures for all potentially hazardous foods must be outside the food danger zone. Second, let's determine how long it takes to prepare each stage of each recipe. Plan a production schedule quickly with the preparation that take the longest. The last one, examine recipes to see if they might be revised for better efficiency and quality as served. That's all for me.